promised, we are continuing yesterday's efforts on implementing the multivariant support within the IntelliJ Platform Gradle plugin. So a lot of work in Gradle, so Kotlin, Gradle API, etc. So we can eventually support publishing plugins for JetBrains IDEs in multiple variants. So instead of publishing one huge plugin with all binaries, if your plugin is using binaries, with all binaries for all operating systems and architectures, so instead of that, because this one may even kind of take something like 600 megs, we will split them into multiple variants, 6 variants, 3 OSs against 2 architectures, and that will eventually produce smaller artifacts, so we can publish 6 variants of the plugin to Marketplace, and end user will download just one of them depending on which OS and architecture they use. So instead of 600 megs, they will just download, I don't know, 100, 120, something like that. If your plugin actually utilizes external binaries that have to be delivered with the plugin. So yesterday we stuck on pretty annoying thing, because what we already have, okay, what's here? This is IntelliJ IDEA with the plugin template opened. So yeah, quick recap. And inside the build Gradle file, we have this new DSL introduced with native variants, which are enabled currently. And for macOS, we specify 2 files that have to be bundled with our plugin. So whenever we, not this one, whenever we build plugin variants, it will create 6 extra distribution files like that. Linux ARM, Linux x86, blah blah blah. And for Mac, we have yeah, I was opening Windows. For Mac we have this, we should have this A and B. That's because I have rebooted my laptop recently. Touch I and B. Okay, let's, yeah, so here A and B files are bundled within the zip archive of this specific variant, and yeah, that works. What is still missing is, because when you develop plugin for JetBrains IDEs, you get a bunch of tasks, and one of them is run IDE, which opens a child process of the IDE with your plugin currently loaded. Okay, that's expected. And yep. And if we rely on, if we have native variants enabled, we expect to run the IDE with our plugin loaded in current OS architecture variant, and it should also have all the files defined here present, because we want to test something locally. That's why we run guest IDE. And within the sandbox directory, so here this is root project.IntelliJ Platform excluded from VCS, obviously, sandbox, and this is the directory that highlights it's connected to the IntelliJ platform we are using for building the plugin. And here we have, okay, that's nice, something, yeah, I've got it. Yesterday I stuck on that because I was pushing those files into the plugin lib. So this B file, because I'm on ARM64, was put here, and that was causing a collision, because when running the tasks I just mentioned, come on, so build plugin variant this or that, it is still picking up content from sandbox, and if there was present file specific to my current architecture, all other variants were also picking this file and bundling in output distribution. But yeah, I stuck on that. I delegated this piece of problem to Codex yesterday, and we stopped the stream because of my dog, and it took a bit of time, so I didn't want you to look at the progress bar only. And here something has happened, so I checked that with Air plugin. I'm using that instead of AI Assistant already. And yeah, it did some work. It initially created separated sandboxes for everything. I mean, like conflict log, plugins, etc. Now I see there is just a dedicated plugins run IDE. Plugins run IDE. So we are sure that the build plugin or any build variant plugin is not picking up this plugins directory when building artifacts. So it did well. However, I wonder, there is also a border case, because if you no, not patch, prepare sandbox, and okay, I forgot about how to do that actually. Let me quickly check that with docs. How to add more files to the plugin archive. I wrote this documentation here, but I already forgot. Run custom task, customized access, bundle additional files with the plugin. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, extra files. Let's use the license here. Project directory from file license into it extra. I wonder if this is respected still by the current implementation. If so, we are good. Okay, extra is here within the pure base sandbox, and here for the run IDE. This is also copied actually. Okay. And the build, the pure build plugin task is supposed to be like that. This is a copy of our plugin.xml, and the variant, like this one, should have two depends entries at the end. Yep, there. So that works. That works. This is cool. Okay, let's check the implementation, because I'm not going to commit anything that is generated by AI without looking at this. Well, this project is going to different people, different companies, because even GitHub Copilot is using that Gradle plugin. They are already, I heard today, they're already utilizing this multivariant scenario with their own implementation, probably suggested by Yuri. Therefore, yeah, it has to be well tested, it has to be well written, satisfy Gradle caching, configuration cache, build cache, etc. And as soon as the feature will be done, I will probably ping GitHub Copilot saying that this snapshot is introducing the multivariant support, and they will be a great beta testers. Okay, what's happening here? What's happening here? Let's shrink it. So for the IntelliJ Platform testing extension, it's just checking. Okay, if we create custom task, run IDE task. Yeah, that's for run IDE. We do include current native variant, and this is the only change in this file. Okay, and this is coming from prepare sandbox task. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. Prepare plugin variant task. That's also pretty thin. Looking at changed lines. So here, let me open that. Here. Okay, task name, variant with variant. Okay, that's just a helper. Okay, no changes in the logic. Prepare sandbox task. Okay, let's check this one, because something is happening here. Yeah, I'm using F7. Yep, F7. Aha, so no. It works only in div. By the way, go to next change, go to, okay, next change. Control Option Shift arrow down. Control Option Shift. Okay, that's on my keyboard. It's not that easy to execute. All right. So a bunch of imports. And what's that? Current native variant files. That's an internal data class. Why? Okay. Okay. Enabled. Okay. So project current native variant files. So this is a method to obtain files defined in build Gradle KTS, like here, for the current variant. So eventually it should hold a data class with a pointer to this file. Okay, and what do we have here? Native variants provider. So that's accessing extension provider, native variants. Okay. And later we are retrieving specific variant. Okay. Current variant. That's also a provider. Current variant. And current variant is taking stuff from system property and zipping them. And current variant, and here is the logic. Okay, because yeah, it's tricky to handle everything from system properties, because on different OS values can be different. So I'm good having this piece of code. I remember I was struggling with covering all cases, but I memorized them, and I see that those architectures are correct. Mac or OS name Darwin, yeah, that's also true. Okay, current variant, that makes sense. Is it used anywhere else? Yeah. Okay, in tests and prepare sandbox. Okay, and that's import. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Native variants enabled provider. So that's just this enabled flag. Okay, used twice. Empty files wrapped in provider. Okay. This is probably because of, yeah, it's for sure done like that because of configuration cache. Because if we would try to initialize this file collection inside the provider, Gradle may start complaining that we try to access projects from provider, and it will just explode. It's pretty verbose, but okay. Empty plugin jar directory provider. Empty plugin jar directory Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Empty plugin, native variant plugin. Fishy. That's fishy. Prepare plugin variant task providers. Variants associated with variant. Oh, makes sense. Internal, yeah, internal. Native variant files, also empty stuff. Do we really need that file collection? What about files? Something like objects. File collection from. Yeah, I will make that a bit shorter. Do we need those? Oh yeah, we are passing them here. Okay. And what's going on in here? Native variants files, if enabled. Current variant. Okay. Empty files provider, okay. And here empty plugin. I'll just move this. Okay. Here. And those can remain here. Okay. Okay, this method is good. That makes sense. That makes sense. What else do we have here? Prepare sandbox task. So we are injecting file system operations and introducing fields that are present in our data class. Objects. Prepare sandbox. Okay, here we have these project objects. And here project, okay. Tasks. Okay, yeah, it's all good. Conversion false, enabled false, okay. What else? So after running the copy task, we eventually copy native variant, and the copy native variant, okay, it checks if native variants are enabled, lib directory, resolve plugin jar as path. Yeah, that makes sense because of some kind of leftover files. File system, copy native variant into plugin directory. Lib directory, okay. and include current native variant. That's fine. Okay. And here, new markers to let configuration cache know that we depend on more properties than task inputs. Yep, it's all good. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Next task. Okay, imports here and here. Prepare sandbox run IDE. So that's new. We already had custom sandbox for backend and frontend when running plugin in split mode, and now we'll also have a dedicated sandbox for run IDE. I mean, I'm talking about the Gradle task. Prepare sandbox run IDE. That's fine. This one is used for build task, and this one, okay. What's here? Okay. We should review that carefully. Register, because before it was just apply sandbox from. Configure with type, just run IDE. Okay, that makes sense. Include current native variant. Yeah. So this is our old code where we register run IDE, and now it's a bit more. It had before only this. Okay, where am I? Only this. So yeah, on this line. So now run IDE is a bit more verbose here. So sandbox plugins directory, if native variants are enabled, then run IDE plugins directory. Okay, sandbox plugins directory. So we are basically swapping sandbox plugins directory, and that's a convention. Okay. Finalize value on read. Okay. So we are duplicating code here. This is duplicated. Okay. Okay, that's duplicated. Therefore, wait, because we are setting the convention once again. Can't we? Okay, let me just ask Codex. Where is it? Yeah. Okay, so for run IDE, we what was the name? Apply sandbox from. We apply sandbox from, which does okay, which does what? Okay. And then we set the conven once again, duplicating the code. Can that be simplified? Okay. Yes, the cleanest simplification is to let apply sandbox from accepted plugin directory override internally while preserving its existing one argument API. I don't get it. Anyways. Here we are overriding sandbox plugins directory, and okay, and we are setting a dependency on this prepare sandbox run IDE task if we operate on native variant files. Do we even care? I mean, can't we simply work on two directories anyway? I mean, without this condition, because having a second plugins for run IDE doesn't make any harm, and we'll just get rid of condition. And for building plugin, there will be just this. Let me show you. There will be just this plugins directory, and for running IDE there will be always the other plugins directory. Why not? Why not? We already know that all the content is copied, and the custom code like this one is respected. So the plugins _ run IDE gets everything that is defined here as well. Therefore, I would simplify that really. And yep, add an internal overload. What? No, I don't want that. That's not simple. I mean, it's an additional layer of complexity. Okay. Run IDE, system, config. And okay, so that's one thing. Prepare sandbox, run IDE. Depends on okay. So that's also a bit tricky, because we are introducing a prepare sandbox run IDE, which is running only when native variants are enabled. So that's already confusing, because why do we have the prepare sandbox for run IDE, which is a default task, and we can't run it? And then we are copying content from sandbox, the base sandbox, okay. That's confusing. Prepare sandbox. Okay, so I would rather run. Okay, so here we have this prepare sandbox task provider. Prepare sandbox. Okay, what about the backend? Okay, it relies also on the base sandbox. Prepare sandbox task provider. Prepare sandbox task provider. No, on its own. Sandbox. Apply sandbox from, and there is already this depends on. Prepare backends, prepare run IDE. So we can drop that. And that's already obsolete. So this one. Okay. And what was in the previous implementation? Apply sandbox from prepare sandbox. Okay. That's fine. Include current native variant. Prepare sandbox one IDE frontend. With native. Okay, native variant enabled. Okay, and where is this? Okay. We drop this. Okay, make this task done exactly like backend. Okay, why I don't have this one? Prepare sandbox task. Because this is a sync task. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, let's test it. I'll just drop all distributions and the sandbox, and let's run the IDE. Okay, we have config run IDE, so that's good. That's good. Here the run IDE is good. Plugins contains this B file. That's good. And what about build plugin? Build plugin has plugins. Okay, and this extra So here we don't really have this extra element. Well, that's expected. It is expected. I mean, well, come on, where is it? If we do something like this type, prepare sandbox task, this will still work, and our run IDE will eventually get this extra. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So since now the build plugin and run IDE will have different sandboxes, and as far as you remember, the test task already has separated sandbox. Yeah, plugins test, and plugins test. Okay, plugins test doesn't include native variants yet. But yeah, we are almost there, so this copy native variant, this makes sense. Okay, that one as well. Here we have this. And where were I? Run IDE. Okay, we can actually drop this. Okay. Native variant files, because that's handled by this little guy. And prepare sandbox task provider. Okay, because we are in run IDE task, therefore we do not deal with the base prepare sandbox anymore. Okay. That looks solid. What else do we have here? Some tests. variants, those helpers. Okay. Alright. So run IDE already works as expected. So it's running against the base sandbox with variant files. Great. We still need to adjust prepare test sandbox. Prepare test sandbox. Oh, what's going on? I'm running tests. Prepare test sandbox. Apply from that. And here we should also include variants. But that's already an easy task. Prepare. Okay, here. Let's get back to the run IDE task and include current native variant. And that's done. Apply sandbox. Okay, run IDE. Where is this one initialized? Here. Prepare sandbox, prepare test sandbox, and prepare test ID performance sandbox. Okay. Run IDE. Prepare sandbox. So we are creating 3 more prepare sandbox tasks inside the run IDE task. And those are that's a bit silly. I mean, register. Runs the IDE. Okay. Okay, so apply sandbox from apply sandbox. Okay. Prepare test sandbox. How do we know about? Okay, it's here. So in theory, those okay, prepare. Okay, should I create all test sandbox variants here? Or in the place where they are actually kind of utilized? I would rather say that this is the correct approach. So we do register task here and here and here, and then access it and continue with configuring the actual run IDE task. And you should probably do the same with the test sandbox. So here, oh come on, we should do this per test sandbox. And this, and here you can see, okay, we refer to this task right away, and same for this one. Okay, apply from configuration. Okay. No, let's not use anywhere else. Okay. Include current variant stuff. Just double check that and that. Prepare. Okay. That's wrong. Okay, it's all good. So now, when we'll run the test task, okay, what's wrong? Now here we should also get this B file after the test is done. Okay, it takes a moment because it's recompiling the IntelliJ Platform Gradle Plugin. Because yeah, this Gradle plugin is attached to the plugin template directly from sources. Okay, and the B file is here. So let's check. Yeah, this part is done successfully. Let's check the to-do list. The run IDE task, so this is the second entry on the to-do list from the right side. The run IDE task should run against a variant matching the current OS arc. Same for running the test task. So yeah, that's done. Awesome. API dump. Let's make sure everything is in place. Let's check this test class. Oh my god, I hate that. Okay. Okay, almost there. So this is really annoying. Okay, that's done. Okay, two tests are not green. Why? Expected value to be false. Stale log file exists. Old session. Pouch. Okay, run ID uses default sandbox when native variants are disabled. That's not true anymore. It has its own. Okay, run ID overlays current native variant on default sandbox without changing distribution. Expected value. Which value? Assert true. Prepare sandbox skipped. Prepare run ID sandbox overlay. Overlay? Okay, this one. It's not an overlay anymore, it's a standalone task. And prepare current variant. Run ID removes all it does not really. I mean, it has its own. It has its own sandbox right now. Okay, I'll quickly run those tests again. Let's see what's failing. In the meantime, let's prepare a commit into the support for native variants in Gradle tasks and sandbox preparation, factor, task registration and execution logic to enable architecture-specific plugin builds and sandbox overlays. Yeah. It's good. Figure out what's wrong with those tests. It will run in the background and we can focus on the next thing, which is make sure that publish plugin task is publishing all defined variants only if variants are enabled. So to do that, we will need to go to the publish plugin task and check, look at this task action, publish plugin. So what is happening here? We are taking the token used for publishing stuff, getting this archive file. We check if it's valid. I mean, if this outgoing package is correct. So we use the plugin verifier. So here you can see this is something from, this is a library published by the plugin verifier project. So I'm using it to verify that plugin archive is correct. If so, we get this plugin ID. We do a bit of more stuff, support for IDE services for companies and their internal plugin repositories. And here we have resolved channels. In most cases this is just a default channel. Okay. And here we are publishing plugins like that. We have, and so yeah, this method comes from the Marketplace library. Repository client, upload, update, plugin update by XML ID and family. ID is a plugin ID, family, file, path to file. So here we should pass. Okay, an ID. Hold on. Create a stale file in log, but current run ID is different. Okay. The test checks the wrong directory. Run ID overlays expects default prepare sandbox in the graph, but yeah. So this is our change, recent change. Fix tests. Okay. So here we should run in a loop. plugin updates for each, and here we'll make it like that, path, and the plugin updates list of path, and this is the base. This is our base plugin. So now native fonts enabled provider. Okay. Archive file. And we should actually rename this one to archive files. This input file optional. Archive files. Okay, let's make it paths. Native variants enabled provider. So now archive files. Get archive files. Input files. Files collection, configurable files collection. Yep, this one. Configurable files collection, input files. Okay. Get path. We need a path objects here. Because as path, this will give us only the files map it as path. It is a file to path. Okay, maybe move this one here, because if you will have multiple resolved channels, multiple channels will kind of mess too much with that. Let's do it like that. In addition, we'll simply support multiple publishing multiple plugins with different IDs. Why not? Okay. And these archive files should be populated to the can this be done in any other way? It should, but not today. Not today. Okay. Archive files from. Okay, we'll get this one here, and as far as I remember, we already had this from stuff somewhere. Okay, it was there. Okay. So native variants. Okay, it works. So there is another check. Map. Okay, if enabled, get variants, otherwise go for this check. Okay, so here we have to replace that with a list of files from variants, and to do that we can probably use this build plugin variants task. Okay, so let's open the build plugin variants task. Come on. Build plugin variants task. Here we have a set of can this one contain output files? Good. Output files. For the output file, what do we use? Okay, just just that. Regular file property. But we will have a file collection, configurable file collection. Okay. Abstract. Any other properties? I mean, annotations? Optional? No. Optional? No, not really. Okay, depends on variant task providers. Build plugin task. So this is a build plugin task. This is a task provider. It map. It map archive file flat map. No. Okay. So here we should refer to the build plugin variants task, which is build plugin variant task. Build plugin variants task provider. Okay. And if it's enabled, we should do it like that. Let's try it out. Still, those depends on should be adjusted, because those are relevant only in this scenario. Sign plugin task provider if it did work. Token property must be specified for plugin publishing. Okay. Fair. Okay, here. Publishing token XYZ. Okay, token is inline. How so? Authentication failed, token is invalid. Okay, but the task should already run, no? Because we use token. Okay. Let's check. What files do we have? No, not this one. Okay. Okay, so we have 6 files here. And we're going to publish each of them separately. So if we go here, the path points to a specific variant already. Okay. So now let's try to disable this one and check which files do we have. We should have just one file there. Yep, just one file, the base zip. The base zip, okay. Good. So we also implemented this one. What about tests? Fixed. Oh, come on. What changed? Okay, they dropped this assertion. Makes sense. Okay, and here refactor publish plugin tasks to support multiple archive files and improve native variant handling. Okay, one more thing, because I'm not sure if I covered that. If we enable this once again and do the publish plugin, well, it will fail because of this token, but sign plugin is disabled and the build plugin is up to date. What will happen when we take this down and this? The build plugin task should run anyway, because we are building stuff from... Okay, yeah, so it's all good. Build plugin. No. Build plugin is not run. Okay, because of prepare some. Okay, let's turn it off once again. Okay, that's not necessary here because we operate on that and archive files from refers to actual. Okay, we don't have to specify this depends on explicitly because Gradle figures out that we depend on a specific task if we try to access its output file and pass as an input for the current one. So that's smart. Okay. Introduced this change, cover it with tests. Okay. What else on the list? Make sure that publish plugin task is publishing all defined variants only if variants are enabled. Okay, so that's done. Is there anything else we should cover? So variants, building variants, testing, running local tests, publishing them. Let's check the list of Gradle tasks. Clean sandbox, compose jar, patch plugin.xml, prepare plugin variant, run IDE, verify plugin. The verify plugin runs against the base plugin still. Okay. Okay. Let's wait for those tests and publish that to the variants branch. I will see in the evening if tests are green, and if so I will prepare a new snapshot release with this change, and tomorrow morning I will just pass it to the GitHub team, GitHub, kind of Microsoft Copilot team, and yeah, describe this change on the forum so people can start testing it manually. And yeah, maybe next week or the week after we'll go with the 2.19.0 IntelliJ Platform Gradle Plugin release. I think we have still one topic to cover with Yuri, but yeah, we will see. But so far this branch, this snapshot seems stable. So yeah, we are almost there. So within the next 2 weeks we should have new release of the Gradle plugin. Cool. One focus publication tests and compatibility checks. What do we have here? Publish all native variant archives. Okay. Okay, and what about our not variants, changelog file? Not this one, the other one, this one. Okay, is there? Okay, it's boring looking at the AI while it works, so yeah, let's wrap it up. I'll make this push a bit later, and I don't need to sit in front of it anymore. So yeah, we're done. The feature is already implemented. Tomorrow we have Friday. I'll probably switch to the other task of hacking the IntelliJ IDEA sources and extending the plugin devkit plugin. So while working on build file, Gradle build file with this IntelliJ Platform Gradle Plugin applied, the idea is to make it smarter and help you figure out which versions of the IntelliJ Platform dependency you can use here. So I got a nice idea from Yuri to utilize one other mechanism, but yeah, we'll discuss that tomorrow to make it even smarter. Okay, thank you very much. See you soon. Bye.